You are now tuned into Let's Talk Podcast, where we talk less but do more. Today we have a very, very, very special guest.
Chelsea, C.Michele, bartending expert, professional shit talker.
Period. Successful bartender who have built a 6-figure career while empowering women to boss up and elevate their standards. And that is what this episode is going to be about.
I love that so much.
What made you... Well, I follow you just for motivation to not talk to dusty men. But what made you want to start voicing your opinion, especially on a platform that's so judgmental?
So really, I think I've always kind of been that friend that's like, girl, don't let him play with you. Like, don't let that man talk to you like that. Don't let him treat you like that. And you know, they always say like, you know, I might forget my worth, but I never forget my friend's worth. And it's like, that's really a thing, because I have so many friends that are beautiful women, that are successful women. And it's like, I see that a lot of times their downfall is a man. It's not their decisions that they make. It's the decision that like the men are making, or like a man dragging them down. And so like, although I've had like my, you know, my share of relationships that obviously didn't work, because I'm now in a healthy, happy relationship, and it's nothing like any of the relationships that I had in the past. It's like, if I could go back and I could tell my younger self like what red flags to look for or what to like avoid in dating, then I would have, you know what I mean? I would have been more further along, basically, or I would have found my husband years ago, because I wouldn't have wasted so much time with the wrong people, you know?
That's actually one of my questions. We just gonna jump into that question. What are some red flags that you feel like women should look for? Just being able to filter out a man that's just not serious about them.
So I think a lot of times women think that men think like we think, and they don't. They're very black and white. It's no gray area. If he don't call you, he don't like you. If he don't text you, he don't like you. If you don't plan dates, he don't like you. Like, he doesn't have to be the richest man in Babylon in order to show you that, okay, yeah, I'm interested in you. He just has to show you that he's interested. A lot of times we confuse, you know, men kind of like think they playing hard to get, and it's like, no, he just is dating
not
or dealing with somebody else. And then they might come around and show you a little bit of attention, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like and it's like, no, he was bored, or the other girl was busy. Like, and you just need to know that if a man is serious about you, he's gonna show you. It's not gonna be a question. If you have to question it, then that's probably not your husband, and you need to stop talking to him.
And that's my thing. I'm like, okay, he was just... My problem is 80% of the men I entertain are men that probably been in my DM or been trying to talk to me for so long.
You never date a fan.
Been trying to talk to me for so long. So it's like, he's obsessed, so I like it. And then, hold on, we've been chilling, like, I like you too. After that, it's just like, all right.
It's the catch. They want to catch you, and once they got you, now they gonna treat you like you wasn't the bitch that they've just been trying to catch. Sorry.
No, it's cool, because you right. That bring me to actually how I feel about that is, men by nature are predators. They're by nature, they want to chase things. They want to work hard for stuff, and it's like they always want what they can't have. So a lot of times you see a man and like you're dating him, and it's like, oh, okay, this is cool, and then like we get comfortable. We like you now. You done see us without no makeup on. You done see me looking crazy. You know what I mean? You done see me at my best. You done see me at my worst. And now it's like the mystery of who I am as a woman is no longer there. But you looking at, you know what I mean, these women on Instagram, and you don't even know what they smell like. So you feel like you got to hunt. You got to chase after that. So it's kind of like that type of thing. And I think that it's unfortunate, but a man who wants to love you through every season, it won't matter once, you know what I mean, they feel like they accomplished getting close to you or getting to know you. But to
piggyback off that, my ex told me the reason we went to high school together, for one. Never used to look at him. Never looked at him.
Thinking about
or nothing. So listen, never looked at him or nothing. But no, never looked at him, never nothing. We were cool. We were always cordial. So we ended up talking. And one day I was just like, what made you want to talk to me? And he was like, he told me that this girl he was talking to was talking so bad about me. He was like, she was talking. She was talking so much shit about you. It made me I went on your page and I wanted to see what was up. He like, and then we started talking shit. Now I'm in love. Like, I'm like, you know what's crazy about me? I didn't even ask what she said because I didn't care. And another thing he also told me is he liked to chase. He's always said me like, men like to chase. Like, They just like the chase. They like it. And that's like, it's certain guys where I had to stop because one time I acted so crazy over him. It was a post like I chased it was a nigga down the street barefoot. I act so crazy over him. outside rumbling for hours, and then went in the house and went to sleep and went to breakfast. Like, I'm like, and I had to really sit with myself and think, like, I actually asked him, like, why do you like what made you, nobody has ever did that before. And I'm not about to do it no more. Yeah, I'm like, you're crazy. And I'm crazy. Like, I'm sweaty. It was just, I just posted earlier. It was like, I'm happy the Lord delivered me because one time I beat a nigga till I was musty. And it was just like, it was like, men really just, some men like the craziness. And it's just like, and I don't even want you to think I care that much.
Yeah. You know what that stemmed from, in my opinion? I think that comes from men not having healthy relationships with their mother. Mm-hmm. And they feel like, if you don't act crazy, if you don't cuss me out, if you don't want to fight, you know what I mean, and then you don't love me. And it's like, I've always had that issue where men think that I really don't care for real, because it's like, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, the craziest thing no, we're not gonna go there, but I haven't really done like crazy things. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, I'm not doing that, because why would you make me get out of character? Why would you make me act like that? Like, and don't get me wrong, I used to want to crash out so bad so many times with so many things. I'm not going to say I've never crashed out before, but I realized that, like, I don't come from that. Like, my mama, I feel like all black mamas had, like, a little attitude. Like, but now that I'm older and I pay bills, it's like, I see why you was mad.
I see why you was mad.
I got attitude. You know, I'm walking around like, okay, don't even breathe wrong. Yeah. I just paid this and that. But when they come from a parent who is like, you know, like, sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Like, they talking to you crazy. Yeah, like, it's never love and positivity and feeding life into you. You feel like a woman has to bring that, or else she doesn't care. And it's like, well, I'm to the point where I just won't care. You can just think I don't care, because my caring is wanting you to do better, wanting more for you, wanting us to be in a healthy relationship where we actually can communicate. So the season I'm in now, it's a guy and it's a couple that be like, not it's a couple, whatever. That feel like I'm nonchalant, and I'm like, I'm the most chalant person ever. But if I have to act crazy, if you put me in a situation where I'm at home, like, should I get in my car and drop my daughter off and go? If I'm even thinking about doing something like that, I don't want to deal with you. You can't.
I have too much to lose. Mm-hmm. I literally had a whole case for crashing out like 12 years ago. He played it so crazy, and then I reacted off emotion, and it was just so much that could have been prevented that I had to go through, money wise, everything. It was just like, and now that I sit back and think about it, it's like, over a man that's doing the same exact thing that he was doing 12 years ago when I was with him. And it's just like, now I think about stuff before, and I ain't have a kid or nothing. Now I think about everything before I do it. And it's like, I will love you to death. But if you do something to trigger me into that old shell, I have to wash my hands with you. And that's with friends too. Yeah. With friends too.
Absolutely. You got.
I just had a situation yesterday with a girl. And she did something and she redid it. I let you come back and you redid it.
That's where you messed up at.
Yes, she redid it, and then I'm on the internet. I'm like, and then my friend sent me her Bible study. She had Bible study this morning. She said that. I'm like,
delete that paragraph.
She said, I'm in the middle of writing like, and your breath stank, and then she sent me that, like, don't forget Bible study in the morning. I'm like, I'm a changed woman. Let me stop.
It's not even worth it. And you know what? I'm so strict. But, like, I'm strict with men, but I'm also strict with my friends, too. Like, because I love you. I will give you the shirt off my back. I will get up in the middle of the night to come rescue you. Like, I done have friends in domestic situations, and they call me 2-3 in the morning. I need you to come get me. I'm dropping everything. I'm on my way.
Going, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm that friend. Like, if I got $10, like, we going to get it hot and ready, and we about to take this $2.50 a piece and go get some juice, and we good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm that friend. So when I have friends and I consider you my friend, I really care about you. So if you do something weird to me,
I hold you to a higher standard.
I can't forgive you. I had a friend. We have been friends since literally elementary school, and I'm like, this gonna be my friend for life. Like, we went to different schools, we kind of separated, we got back together, and I'm like, this gonna be my friend for life. And I found out she did something weird behind a man. Because it's always a man at the root of the, you know what I mean? And it was like, and it wasn't even that she did something with the man. She did something to where she tried to hook her friend up with my
something she shouldn't have
something
done.
You shouldn't have did. Because you was trying to reap the benefits of this man without directly dealing with the man. And now you lost a friend for life, and you can never come back over here. You could never be mine. You could never sit with me, because if you a snake to me once, then you always
and
gonna
that's
be
my
a snake.
mistake. Giving the person the benefit of the doubt.
I can't. I'm so strict. If somebody do something to somebody else and I don't like it, that's your character, and it ain't no telling when it's my turn for you to snake me.
I just lost I'm not just lost. This is about February. My birthday, February 3rd. This was January. I lost somebody really, really close to me, a friend. I lost her, and I feel like friendship breakups is harder than relationship breakups, because I love my friends. I support my friends with whatever they choose to do. I don't care what it is. So when me and this person, and it wasn't like a argument breakup or nothing like that. It was just I literally hear you sit and talk about all your other close friends. Your closest friends.
And then you turn around
and I say, I'm going into this new year of my life, and I just can't. You are not aligned with me. And people probably been noticing a little bit, because we used to, and it's just like, it's no beef. I have nothing bad to say about you. I love you. But I can't afford to have a person like that around me. I'm not a person to be like, oh, you need to hold your friend know how they friend you. No. If I don't feel like I could tell you my deepest, darkest secrets, you are not my friend. I'm not about to be talking with one friend and then you walk in the room and I gotta shut up. You're not my friend. You're not my friend. This year have really showed me that everybody just can't come. And it don't have to be a nasty fallout either. It's simply like, we just not aligned. If I see you out, hey, what's up, girl? Hey. But we just not aligned. No, you can't come to my house. I'm not coming to yours. I don't need to go to no events. We don't need to talk on the phone. We it's just not aligned.
Just love you from a distance. And that's okay. And I think that's a lot of people don't understand that, and they have a problem with that because they think, oh, because we're not friends anymore, then we're into it. No, we not into it. Here. I don't feel no way towards you. You're just not aligned with the purpose that God has for me in my life. And that's okay, because like you said, everybody can't go. Sometimes God will hold your blessings back until you get those people from around you, because he knows that when you are, in the big house, and like if you hating on me now, imagine how you gonna feel when I pull up in the jet. Man, for real. I'm pulling up. When I'm hanging out with Chris Brown, you in the back talking about me, you know what I'm saying? And I need people around me that's gonna be bigging me up, that's gonna be speaking my name, speaking on me highly in rooms that I'm not in. You know what I mean? And if you dogging everybody else out, what makes me think that you're not doing the same thing?
Me
you
off
dog
the phone.
walking me.
Now to swing back around, how have your mindset with how you feel like guys are black and white? If he not doing this, he don't like whatever. How did that mindset impact the relationship you in now? And just your confidence all around.
Okay, so I think what it was for me, I'm about to tell my business a little bit, whatever, because I'm not ashamed of nothing that I've been through. Okay. So when I met the person that I'm dating now, I was dating somebody else, because we all sometimes we have those spurts where we're not dating anybody, but 9 times out of 10, you're dating somebody. Yeah. You're just not in a relationship with them, so you like open to meeting new people. So I was dating somebody and I really liked him. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, like this my little boo. Like this my little yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was aligned with, like what I had going on at the time or whatever, right? And then, but like, okay, so I don't know if this is too much information. Actually, I don't care. He was a Virgo. My mom is a Virgo. They like their space. My girl's a Virgo. Virgos like their space. So they're like, we can hang for 24, 48 hours straight. But on that 49th hour, baby, I need you to go home. And it was like, I was okay with that, but I was convincing myself that I was okay with it, because it was like, well, I can still like,
because
I can do me.
Because you wasn't really okay with it.
I wasn't really okay with it, because it's like, no, I don't want to live together, but I want to see you every day. If we're dating and you don't have a job, I barely got a job. Like, I'm working, but you know what I mean? Like, we got free time. Your free time should be
with me.
If you having a family event, I need to be there, because are we building a relationship or we not? So I was okay with it, because it was like I still had my freedom. I was still doing my little 1-2, hanging with my friends and whatever. And then I met this guy, and it was like, okay, I used to date like scammers. Most of the niggas scam, or they sell drugs, or it's scam, drugs, Chrysler, or the plant, right? Or that's drugs. Them, or drugs, or the plant, or scam. Like, it's like one of, that's the big three. So it's like most men that you meet, like, there are men who have businesses. There are men who have, careers. There are men who do other things. But most of the men that you kind of meet, it's like they dibble and dabble in one of those three things, a little bit of everything. And it's nothing wrong with that. Or I didn't think it was anything wrong with that until I met a man that makes an honest living. And meeting a man that makes an honest living made me realize that, okay, if he makes an honest living, this is his character. He's an honest person. And not to say that, he has always told the truth, because I don't know. You don't know if somebody's lying to you or not. But just in general, overall, looking at character, right? You scam and you lie for a living, you're gonna lie to me eventually. You know what I mean? Like, you are going about life in a dishonest way. So how can you be honest with me? And I started to really look at that, and I really started to like pay attention to like patterns of like who I've dated in the past versus this person who, is talking to me about their morals and their integrity and the things that they stand on, talking to me about the things that they want to accomplish in life and where they see themselves in 5 years, 10 years. And not that the people in the past didn't have goals, but it's a little bit different when you're very clear and concise on what it is that you want. So as over here, I'm like going with the flow, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Like, he's working on, this or whatever. Like, this is what he want to do. And then it's like, you get a man that's like, I'm intentional. I want to be married. Like, so what we doing? It's like, oh, like, you didn't come in here to play no games with me. Like, and you're not gonna, if I'm not your wife, you need to let me go. And a lot of men don't do that. A lot of men will enjoy the benefit of having a woman, because let's be honest, having a woman is a benefit, especially a good woman. She gonna make sure your head on straight. She gonna make sure you're doing what you need to do. She gonna make sure you have the things that you need to have. But if you have a good woman here, but that's not the woman that you want to marry, and it's 5 other women that's trying to audition for that role too, you gonna play around, you gonna play your part until you find a woman who you actually wants to be your wife. So I think that the difference for me was that this is a man who is intentional, and he's showing me that he's intentional about everything that he does, not just about me and our relationship, but about working out, about waking up in the morning, about his relationship with God, about for advancing his career. Whereas, I was in a relationship with somebody, and it was so willy-nilly. We'll wake up on Tuesday and be like, you want to go to Cedar Point? And it's like, hell yeah, like, that's fun. You know what I'm saying? You want to have fun? Okay, that's cool. But where is the alignment with the goals and the things that you're trying to do in life? And I think that was like the big like takeaway from me, So yeah.
What advice do you have for women who like, I'm not gonna say embarrassed, but who just can't set those standards? Like, they basically take what they can get.
They gotta work on themselves.
You gotta love yourself. And let me say this. It's easy to say like, love yourself, right? But what does that really mean? In order for you to love yourself, you have to know who you are. And in order for you to know who you are, you have to have a relationship with God. Because when you have a relationship with God, you understand your purpose and authority in real life. And it's not just, you're not a sex toy. You're not somebody's playmate. You're not somebody's little girlfriend. You're somebody's wife. And it doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter who you used to hang with. It doesn't matter where you used to be. It doesn't matter what you dealt with from men in the past. You can wake up today and decide, like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm done with that. I am somebody's wife, and I got to start carrying myself and treating myself as such. Because at the end of the day, everybody, has a quote unquote past. I don't care if you had sex with 3 men or 330,000. You know what I mean? Granted, that's a lot. That's a lot. Stop right there. Don't sleep with nobody else. You don't get no more. But seriously though, you can change at any point in time.
That's a problem I have now. It's like, say for instance, my friend always say that my first problem is talking to guys from my past. But I was talking to somebody and it's like, you had a person that I've grown so much from. So you probably used to this. And when I tell you like, oh no, we can need to do this or that, or I'm not, or no, like I'm not doing that. And then they like, oh, you acting funny, you bougie, you think you better than me. It's like, no, you think I'm better than you, but I'm not gonna argue with that. However, I'm just not going for that no more. I don't like those things no more. And it's just like,
you gotta get a new nigga.
Yeah.
You gotta get it. You cannot go back, because let me tell you, if you, okay, so let's just say you not her no more. So let's just say that when you was 19 and you was in college, you had a dude that you was dating and y'all would chill and y'all would smoke and y'all would eat pizza.
Man, bitch, I'm watching my waist now.
I don't even smoke. I don't even eat pizza. I'm a vegan now. You get what I'm saying? You don't have, and especially now if the person has grown as well.
But when it be like they haven't, so it's like, oh, let's go here and drink some Jaeger. Like, oh, I don't drink on the weekdays. I only drink on the weekends now. And they like, well, you need a day to drink. Like, that's just not something that I do.
You have to align yourself with people who fit your future and not even your present. Because if you're not where you want to be, aligning with people that are where you're at right now is the same as aligning with the past. And one thing that I've learned through just growing and like just watching different, podcasts and just, you know what I mean? Like you said, I like what you said earlier on your story. You said that you putting in daily deposits to become a better woman. I love that, because that's something that every woman needs to focus on doing. It don't have to be in a big elaborate like, oh, I'm changing my life, I'm gonna shave my hair. And
this with me, like I wake up every morning and it's nasty, but today I found the cheat code. I juice me some celery and I just drink that because I was noticing my headaches was getting so bad.
Celery juice is so good.
And I'm drinking celery now. Every morning I'm waking up, I'm drinking celery. One of my sisters, she's vegan. She's been vegan for like 4 years. She like, here you go, fake juicing. It's like, you're a hater.
Yeah. You got to block out. You got to be able to block out the noise too. That's a really big thing. Like, I've since I started posting on social media, I've had people say things that was a little discouraging. Like, oh, I see you trying to be an influencer, and you know what I mean, just say like people, and sometimes people don't even know what they're saying.
I said sometimes people are so comfortable being negative, or they're so miserable in their own life, they so used to projecting that. Like, I feel like sometimes some people say stuff and I really just let it go, because after you say it, they looking like, because you didn't even know you were about to say no hating ass shit. You just so used to being a hater, it just spit out.
Yeah.
And it's just like if a nigga say something, you be like, wrong bitch. One time I said it, I'm like, why did I just say that? Like, I just met him. But it's like, you can't help it. It just come out. And I feel like that's a lot of people. They cannot help it. They don't want to see nobody happy. They don't want to see nobody doing nothing. And that's what I was telling my friend who held her Bible study. She really like keep it a secret a little bit. And I feel like, cause she a bartender or whatever, she kind of feel like people, well, she already said people say stuff like fake Christian and stuff like that. And it's like, no. Talk about God as much as you want to all day, or scream it. Like, it's nobody's business. Nobody know your walk. Nobody know what you do when you leave whatever work you do. Nobody. You could be these preachers be the work. Like, come on now. You never know what somebody is doing in the dark. Like, you don't know how many times this girl is on her knees crying to God, talking. You don't know. So I hate that the internet let us judge people or let us think we know people when we really don't know these people.
Yeah. I literally, and I could relate to that, because I got baptized on, I went to church New Year's Eve. I'm like, I want to bring this year in the church. Like, I want to work on my walk with God. My boyfriend, he's a devout Christian. Like, I'm a Christian as well, but he knows so much. And it's like, I have questions about things, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't fully understand everything. But I know it was people looking like, oh, you got baptized, or you about to be back doing this, you about to be back doing that. That don't have nothing to do with you, because my God is an understanding God, and my God is a forgiving God, and my God knows my journey, because he knew me before I was even formed in the womb. The same way he know you, the same way he know everybody before they was formed in the womb. So God is not, I think that a lot of people try to like make it to where, oh, well, if you're a Christian or you're this, you should be doing that. But being a Christian to me means that you follow Christ and you try to be like Christ. The key word is try. So my best might not look like your best.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that the whole judgy thing, like, it's just kind of like focus. I've always been like a focus on eyes on your own paper. You worried about me and what story I'm writing, and you supposed to be writing your story. You all in my book and it ain't even done.
Exactly. How do you find balance on being so firm and so black or white, this is what it is, but still being vulnerable? And not just with relationships, like in everywhere.
I think that a really big thing that a lot of people don't do, but we don't realize how important it is just being still. I think that finding the answer to everything is in being still. We're so busy. We wake up, we got to go to work, we got to get the kids ready, we got to do this, we got to do that, and we never just take time to sit and like I started meditating probably maybe 6 years ago, and I'm not gonna lie, be careful. You know what I mean? Like, God said you're supposed to meditate on his word, and I understand that now, because the first time I ever meditated, I had sleep paralysis, and there was like an entity sitting on my chest, and I swore I called out to Jesus. I said, Jesus, help me. But I couldn't talk. I thought it in my head, and I promised, and I could sound crazy, but if you know, you know. He literally came and said, you can't have her. And I will never forget that. A day in my life, I will never forget that. And I will never forget God's grace and mercy. So now when I meditate, I say, God, protect me. Protect me from anything that is, not
from you.
Not from you, right? But I try to clear my mind and not think about things, because think about when you have slow mornings. You have the best ideas when you can just wake up and you could make your celery juice, and you can make your breakfast, and you can take your vitamins, and you do all the things that you know are making you a better person. You have your best ideas. You have your best interactions. You have the best. It's almost like, but when you're rushing, it's like when your belt loop get caught in the door and you frustrated, you can't find your keys, and you ready to just say fuck it and lay back down.
I'm not a morning person. I don't do nothing in the morning. You gotta unthaw.
You gotta unthaw in the mornings, and if that means waking up a little bit earlier, then that's kind of what you have to do. But you have to be still and listen to God's voice. You gotta listen to your intuition, because you have times where you might think that it's this, and really it's that. But if you would have slowed down, you know what I mean? Like, because I'll probably cut off people that didn't deserve to be cut off. But we here now. So I mean, like, I can't do nothing about it. But if in hindsight, it's like I should have gave them a chance to explain. But I was moving so fast, and I'm calling my cousin like, why they did this, and tell me if I'm wrong. Your cousin, like, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. So it's like being still and just allowing God's voice to guide you is like, because if it's not in alignment, it feel wrong. It feel frazzled. It feel,
you just uncomfortable.
You uncomfortable. You feel anxious. Like one time, I was like, in my past relationship, it was like one day I woke up and I just had so much anxiety, and I'm like, what is wrong with? Like, why am I so anxious? It was him. he was causing, and he didn't even do nothing that day. But it just was God telling me, like, you're not supposed to be here. I have more for you. I have greater for you. And thank God that I got out of that.
I feel like with these situations, dating is just it's a lot. It's a lot. But what I do know now, my friend sent me this post. She told me about this girl on TikTok who posts like dating advice, and she was basically saying, see, my issue is I meet a guy or whatever, and I'm so transparent. I'm such of an oversharer. I start talking to you like we homies.
Stop doing that.
So now, listen. So now you think we cool, but you still want to do stuff that we would be doing if we was messing with each other, like we was talking, dating. So now we dating, but you think you comfortable enough to tell me about Susie and Sally and QZ, and now I don't want to talk to you no more. You looking at me like I'm crazy, like we cool. So that was my problem. But my friend told me basically, this lady basically said, our problem is when we go on dates, we need to be quiet. And it's crazy because I tell my daughter all the time, just because it's quiet don't mean you got to talk. Relax. I tell her this all the time.
That we do.
And she said,
do that a lot.
The lady basically said, like, he asks you a question, you know, you answer it, you talk, but learn how to just be quiet and listen and like assess the situation, and you would just be better. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That's great dating advice, because honestly, if you let a man talk, he gonna tell on himself every time. He gonna tell you. And a lot of times we try to like explain, like, because we want them to understand who we are and how we are and how they should treat us. Yeah. But it's really the opposite. Like, if we just be quiet, they already think we're cute, and they want to, you know what I mean,
like you. So now they about to tell you what type of person they really are,
and they gonna tell you, like, you find out he a bitch beater, or you know what I mean, like that he a serial cheater, or you know, he gonna end up slipping up and telling you that he got, you know, 3 baby mamas, but he really got 10 abortion baby mamas. Like, you know what I mean? They'll tell on themselves. You just gotta sit back.
I asked the guy that we was on a date, and he like, we on a date, and he like, I'm like, you don't got no kids? I'm like, but how many abortions you pay for? He was like, ain't nobody ever asked me that, because I want to know how many times you just shooting the club up.
Yeah.
And he answered me, and it was honest. So I agree with that. I feel like, you know, with dating, my discernment is just real. It's a lot better now. But like you said, you have to love yourself first, because I noticed that all the situations I was in and I felt like were horrible or they didn't work out, I just felt like I didn't even like myself. So it was like, I'm beating and badgering this man. I'm beating and badgering this man to like me when I don't even like me. Like, girl, relax. So I'm at a point now where it's just like, this is what I want. If you can't do this, or if you don't think you can show up as this person in this capacity dealing with me, then I don't even have the energy, and this may sound bold, and I'm sorry, I don't even have the energy to try to, I'm gonna try. Like this one guy, I liked him. We had fun. I liked him. And he was like, this is what got me. He was like, I know you say I'm nonchalant, so I'm gonna try. You gonna try to? No, that's not good enough. I'm like, that's not good enough for me.
I'm not your bitch.
That's not not good enough for me. So now, when I'm in a space where I'm really pouring into myself and doing more things alone and really getting into my own groove, I'm attracting better people. And it's just like, I could have did this years ago.
And but, you sorry not to cut you off, but it's also the story that you tell yourself. Like I had a spurt where I was single, and at first I was like, man, like these niggas ain't shit. Like they like it ain't no good men out here. And then I started to realize the words that I was saying were aligning with the men that I was meeting. And then I was like, actually, no, there are good men out here, and I attract good men, and I'm worthy. I had a good little summer where I had some really, you know what I mean? They were good men, like they were quality men. They had good credit. They had a car. They had their hairline. You know what I mean? Like it was like no kids. I'm like, okay, I hit the jackpot. And it didn't work out with any of them, because I'm able to realize when a man, like you could be a good man, that doesn't mean that you're the man for me. There's 8 billion people in this world. Yes. Every man that you date not gonna be your husband. But I think a thing that helps me the most is I think about my daughter, and I say, what type of man would I want her to be with? Or how would I want a man to treat her? Because essentially, if you remarry or if you get married, you know what I mean, after having children, that is going to be the first example that they see of love. And even if it's not from a man, you loving yourself is going to make them grow up and be like, my mama wasn't dealing with no bum ass nigga beating her up and taking her car and you know what I mean, just treating her, talking to her crazy. So I'm not dealing with that. So
what I ask myself is like, how would I feel if Zen was dating this person? Even me and my her father, when we at odds and he would start getting snappy, I look at him like, this how you want somebody to talk to your daughter? Now call me on the phone. We can scream and holler, but you don't play. Yeah. But my question to you is, what inspired you to make bartending like a career instead of just like a side hustle?
Oh, I love this question. So I used to be broke. Like I was broke as hell. Like I was working. So the last like job that wasn't in the service industry that I was working in the airport. I worked at the Time Ford counter, and I was doing makeup. So I was doing makeup on the side, working at the Time Ford counter like Monday through Friday, like morning shift. And I'm like, okay, like this is cool. I'm making $16, $17 an hour. This back in 2018, pre-inflation, pre-COVID. And I'm making more because I'm getting bonuses every month because I'm selling. Like Tom Ford lipstick was like $52 at the time. So, and these people buying it. And I'm selling them on skincare and I'm selling $300 perfume. So I'm getting bonuses and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm doing good for myself, right? I was a newly single mom. A mother who was single. I'm not going to say single mom because my daughter's father is active and present, but I was on my own. Yeah. I was single. And I moved back home after I had my baby, and it was time for me to move out and move into my own place. I moved into my own place, and it was cool. And I calculated how much money I would have after I paid my bills, and it was like $47. And I said, I can't do nothing with that. And I didn't realize, you know what I mean? Because I had the mindset that like, okay, well, I have money, like it's fine. But I didn't realize that I was spending more money than I was making. So I'm sitting here going to work, ass crack of dawn every morning. And I had 2 homegirls and they were working in the bar at the time. These bitches was at Somerset every week. I said, now wait a damn minute. If y'all buy another bag, shoe, scarf, and I'm over here with $47 left after I pay my bills, something is up. Like, put me in the game. Like, teach me something. So, at the time, it was like, I was dating a guy. He had a lot of money. He was basically like, you know, like, I'll pay all your bills. So I'm like, this is my time to shine. This is my opportunity. So I was still working. I was still working at the airport, but I went and I like decided to go get like a waitressing job or whatever. No, I started as a door girl. And I was making $100 a night. So whatever they tipped me or whatever I got tipped, they would pay me the difference. If I got tipped nothing, they would give me $100. But it was like if I didn't get tipped over $100, I didn't make no more than $100. And I'm seeing them making it rain in the club. The girls walking out with bags. And I'm like, okay, I know I can't dance. I ain't got the rhythm for that. That ain't really, you know, that ain't really my lane. But I'm like, the waitresses are making money too. So let me try it. And, you know, I started and the places that I was working at was kind of slow. But it was like when I would have a good night, it would be a really good night. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'll keep at it. I decided to just take a chance. I went to Truth. If anybody that work or own Truth is watching this, sorry, I lied. I had no experience. I was like, I bartended before. Like, I've done this. And they liked me and they gave me a chance. They put me behind the bar and I didn't know what I was doing. But I just went with it. And I started, you know what? The girl who trained me, I didn't know how none of this worked for real. So the girl who trained me, this is our first day. Or this is my first day. We behind the bar. She real nice to me. She's showing me the ropes. She's showing me this and that. Mind you, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm pretending like I'm following along. But I'm really like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. And these guys came in and they was like making it rain behind the bar. I'm like, that little $47 can go to hell because they in here spitting that money. Like I'm seeing people like, you know, they leaving tips. There's gratuity on the bill. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is cool. Y'all, at the end of the night,
she took everything.
Girl, she took all. I said, bitch, you ain't gonna give me nothing. Like, and she did it so fast to where it was like she counted the money and she was like, okay. And like,
she knew what she was doing.
She knew exactly what she was doing. And if you watching this, you wrong as 2 left shoes because you know I made that money that night. But I'm like, it's cool. I'm training. When I get in here though, I'm on y'all ass. It's on. So I started working and I realized that people will pay you for being pretty. Like, they will literally just pay you for being pretty. And it was like, it was cool. It was sustainable. I was like making money. But I realized that like I could make more by actually learning how to sell or using my sales background because I was working at Tom Ford selling expensive makeup and perfume. If I could translate that into this, I could make more money because I get paid 20% of everything that you spend. So I just decided that, like, you know, it really wasn't a conscious decision to do it. I think it was just more so like,
I need more money.
When I calculated how much I was making, it was like, my nurse friend ain't making this. She a RN. Like, I'm looking at my, like, what I made for the first year and I'm looking at other salaries and I'm like, this is what lawyers making.
Yeah, this not no hustle. Like, this is my job.
It's and I think that the thing that most people kind of, they look at it because it's so fun and it's such a job to where you just like, oh, like, you know, like I come to work, I look cute, I have a good time, and then I go home, and you know, sometimes you drink or whatever the case may be. People don't look at it like a real job, but if you know how to work it, you can
listen. Any job where you work for tips, you can listen. Because me working at the nursing home and I'm a senior, I made more money when I worked at Coney Island on 6 Mile. And people get so mad when I say that, and I be like,
and it's less work.
I just gotta stand there and look cute. Okay, I'm at work, and I'm actually squeeze or slice. One time, this guy came in there. He wanted an Everfresh. It was $2.11. He gave me a $100 bill, and the girl like, we split tips. Absolutely not. We never did. It's never happening.
Don't ever play in my face like that. Who's we?
So, exactly. And then I used to see. This was when I was just at Coney Island. I never even thought about, because I'm in nursing school now, but I never even thought about doing nothing. People with nurses and stuff used to come in there like with attitude. I was like, we make more than you. And I'm just talking. But now that I'm in that field, I'm like, I was making more money at Coney Island. So when people frown upon certain jobs, I just be looking at y'all like, y'all crazy as hell.
Crazy as hell.
Like, y'all stupid.
2 million 24-hour shifts.
Swear to God, I'm working 7 12-hour shifts 6 days a week.
And then I was a senior for some years because I thought that I was gonna be, because I love helping people. Like, I have a passion for helping people, like, just no matter what it is, right? So I'm like, okay, nurse. Like, that makes sense. I'll be a nurse. From high school, like, that was the plan, to go to nursing school, be a nurse. I was a senior. I seen how miserable a lot of the people was working, and like, being nurses, like, it don't matter how much money you making. If you unhappy, like, that's one thing about me. If I'm unhappy, I will walk away. At one point, I was working midnights at the nursing home, but I would be like picking up doubles. I had a call center job, so I was working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and I was working I was doing home health care, so it would be like random 4-hour shifts. I was getting no sleep and still had no money. Like,
that's how, and it just be like, okay, I'm doing something different. Like, and then that's how my family was looking at me crazy a couple weeks ago when I quit my job at this one job I was working at. I was making decent money every 2 weeks, but I was miserable. I had no time to spend with my daughter. So now on the weekend when I want to hang out or I want to do something, everybody looking at me crazy because I damn near seen my daughter all week because I'm working 7 to 7. She get home, I put her in the bed at 9. So now I make less money. I'm in between jobs, but I can wake up with my daughter, cook her 2 waffles, make her lunch in the morning, make me my juice. I'm chilling. I pick up a shift, and I may pick up a shift. I might not. But God got me. Like, I'm not stressed out. I was stressed out more when I was working like a slave. I just feel better. That's why they're like, oh, I just re-enrolled back to finish my last 6 weeks of school. It's like,
congratulations.
Thank you. It's just like, I'm choosing my peace from now on. I'm sorry. And not for so long, I'm like, I gotta make money. Times where, and I'm transparent. It was times where I'm working like a slave dog.
Hair not done.
Barely even have hair not done, nails not done, and then don't even have all the money to pay the bills. And it's just like, people be like, oh, you work every day, you big money. What? I'm dying. It was just up until the point where my auntie even told me I was having headaches every day. And I'm like, what do I got a headache for? My auntie's like, well, for one, you don't sleep. Like, my body was just telling me, like, stop. So I quit that job. I quit it. And now I just
do you.
I do me. I do my best. That's what I do.
That's the best thing to do for a living.
I do my best.
People ask me, I say, I do what needs to be done.
Because the crazy thing about it is, the harder you work, the more resistance you create in your life. Like, when I literally was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not working hard. Like, my mama worked hard. My grandma worked hard. You know what I mean? Like, everybody worked hard. And it's like, y'all not rich. So, and I love them to death. And they stable. You know, God rest my grandma's soul. But my mom is stable. Like, she good. But you not hopping out the bed and turning your swag on. That's what I want to do. I want to hop out the bed and turn my swag on and do, you know what I'm saying? I want to do me. I want to be able to breathe and relax and not give my life away to a corporation building somebody else's dream when I might not know exactly what I want to do right in this moment.
But it's working.
But I know that God didn't tell me that I should get up and go punch a clock. Like, you know what I mean? And even if it is, we have everything we need inside of us already. And I'm a firm believer in that. And
I think you posted something like that. Like, women already have what they need to have the best life or something like that.
You already have it. And when you literally let go and let God, like one of my friends, I love her to death. This is one of my best friends, Tiana. Shout out to my girl, Tiana.
She was on here. I love her.
That is my baby. I love her. She literally was working a corporate job for years. Like, that's what she did. And she decided to take a leap of faith, and her business is flourishing. Shout out to Blessed Tax Return. Her business is flourishing because she took a chance and trusted God to direct her. Like, when you just take a chance and you because that's what I did. I quit my job. I was like, all right, I ain't doing this no more. Working off of tips, it's a risk. It's a risk, but at the end of the day, it's a risk I'm willing to take to bet on myself versus betting on somebody else and their business and making them.
I read something in the book. Your salary is what they pay you to
forget about your dreams. Yep.
And I always thought, like, I'm working 12 hours, 5 days a week. Well, imagine if I'm putting that into. It's only 24, and it's taking me out. Like, it's taking me 30 minutes to get home, 30 minutes to get back. I gotta get in. So it's like, I just really said to myself, I cried. I said, I'm quitting. I said, if she do one, my boss was a real. I said, if she do one thing every day, I'm quitting. She did something. I finished that shift.
That was God.
I finished that shift. I text her. I said, today was my last day. She said, yeah, you've been saying that. I said, well, I hope you have somebody to come to work in the morning. The next morning, she texted me, I guess she was serious, dead ass. But my next question to you about bartending and working in a bar, how do you establish that? How do you keep your boundaries with the low? Because I know working in a bar, because I worked in a bar before. I wasn't a bartender. But how do you keep that relationship, the boundaries? Because you have to have a relationship with your clients, right? But how do you keep those boundaries in place? Because I know, like, the Melvins off of
Players Club.
Yeah, Players Club. I need to make sure you got home, Diamond. Yeah. I know them type of people they exist. So absolutely. I just went to a nursing home. A guy walked past like, oh, you is that tall in person? I'm like, he like, I follow you on Instagram. I said, why? He like, I've been following you for years. The janitor, like a little older guy. I'm like, okay, that creeped me the fuck out.
That's scary.
But how do you keep your boundaries in those relationships?
So I'm gonna be honest. I build rapport with my regulars and my customers at work, right? And I keep it at work. Like, I don't, like, I have a few people who, which I vet them out, and I make sure, like, okay, I'm an attractive woman. Like, you might be attracted to me, but you're not so attracted to me that you're like trying me. Like, I can tell a difference, because there are men who are able to have platonic relationships with women. Like, you might be attracted, but if you don't act on that, like, acting on it is a completely different thing. But if you don't give me the vibes that you, like, you know, you trying to talk to me, you trying to this and that and the third. Like, I've literally had in the past somebody look my number up and, like, find where I live at, like, find, you know what I mean, find information about me just based off of my phone number. So I don't give my phone number out. If I do give my number out, it's to somebody who understands, like, number one, I have a man, and number two, don't text me unless you asking me if I'm at work, because we can be cool all day long, but
not that cool.
Like, so. And if you're a single woman, it's different. It's a little bit different for single women, because you can go and hang with these people if you feel like you might have somebody coming to work and they cool, y'all have a good time, they buying shots, they don't give you no weird vibes, and they like, hey, you know, let's meet downtown and go hang and this, and you kind of, your intuition, you kind of can gauge like who is okay to hang out with and who is kind of like creepy. I don't really deal with too much of that now, but like, I will say that when I used to work like in the strip club, it was more of that vibe, like men who were attracted to you and they wanted to date you and take you out, and it's like, you kind of got to be like, no, you know, I'm not here for that. I'm just here to work. I don't date customers, you know what I mean, like that type of thing. But yeah, people are crazy. Keep it going.
What's some mistakes you see early new bartenders making that kind of stop their bag?
Ooh, this is a good one. So first of all, stop fucking the customers. Thank you. You cannot. First of all, they talk. So if these people are in your job all the time, right, and you hang out with this guy outside of work and y'all have sex, you don't think he's coming back and telling everybody else in the job that he had sex with you? So now people kind of looking at you like, you know what I mean? That back to that whole mystery thing. Now it ain't no mystery to it because he didn't vividly describe how it was having sex with you.
And he probably gonna order from somebody else next time.
You know, he like, why am I tipping you? I already got what I wanted. So that thing, like, if you meet somebody and y'all decide to date and whatever, like, that's one thing. But don't fraternize too much with the customers. Don't stand around talking and gossiping and, you know what I mean, talking to your coworkers and that type of thing. Like, you're there to make money. You're getting paid $2 to $5 an hour in Michigan or whatever the minimum wage is in the state that you live in. You're not making your money sitting talking to these random people, or not random people, but you know, the people that you work with, or the guy who bought a beer and tipped you $2. Like, you need to literally be at work to make money. You need to be counting the minutes and making sure, like, okay, well, I just got tipped this over here. Okay, I got money coming in over here. like, you have to make sure that you're doing things that are conducive to you earning money, because you're not getting paid to be there. I think another big thing that they do is they bring their personal problems to work. So, like, if you're having a bad day, like, you literally got to leave that shit at the door. You can't come into work and be irritated and, you know what I mean, dry with your customers. I make the most money when I'm literally, like I said, taking my time. I get dressed, I do my makeup, I, you know, pick out my outfit, I come to work, I'm in a good mood. I done stopped and got me, you know, some water or some coffee or whatever, and I'm mentally prepared to come into work no matter what's going on outside. You know what I mean? So I can be bubbly, I can be nice, I can crack a joke with you, and I can make you feel warm, welcome, comfortable. That's gonna make you want to, number one, keep coming back, but also leave me a good tip. So I think a lot of people do that. Like, you get a lot of waitresses that just have like an attitude and they just irritated, or they just real dry. Like,
you're like, damn,
hey,
well, I just got here.
And
I came here to unwind.
And now I'm mad because you didn't piss me off. Yeah, it's they definitely stopped their bag by doing that. We're just being shy.
With bartending, I'm shy. With bartending being so demanding and such, like, fast paced, how do you manage to stay like bubbly and without like burning out?
So I treat every interaction as an individual interaction. So, like, you could piss me off, but when I come over here, I'm gonna act like it never happened. Or if I need a second, I'm gonna walk away. I'm like, hey, you know, I'll be right with you, and I'm gonna go to the back and I'm gonna talk so much shit about you. That fucking bitch talking about she want a hot water with a lemon, got an attitude, da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna talk my shit in the back, because it's kind of a universal thing with waitresses and bartenders. Like, people piss us off. It's a job where you're gonna get irritated because people don't understand how to be good customers a lot of time, you know? But I'm come back, I'm gonna breathe.
It's gonna
and
be
I'm
a new
gonna act
person.
like it never happened. You just gotta act. You can't carry that, and I do that a lot in life too. But I try not to let things carry over into the next, you know, interaction or situation.
What's one characteristics of a mindset shift that you feel like every woman should experience with not just relationships, but with life and just leveling up in general?
I think that every woman should work on their relationship with God and work on their relationship with self. Forgive themselves for the past and just anything that, you know what I mean, they might have done that they're ashamed of. Because I get a lot of women who, like, they come to me and they ask me for advice, and they feel like because they did this or that in the past, like, they don't feel worthy of X, Y, and Z. Because a man will tell you, oh, you had a baby, so, you know, ain't nobody thinking about you, or you work in a bar, like, ain't nobody gonna take you serious. And a lot of times, which is another reason why I use my platform to speak on relationships, a lot of times a man will know that he doesn't deserve a woman because she's a good woman, she's sweet, she's kind, she's caring, you know what I mean? And he's scared for her to go and be with another man and find what she deserves, so he tries to bring her down and make her feel unworthy. I I almost can't think of a person who hasn't experienced, a woman who hasn't experienced that in a relationship. But when you know who you are and you know your authority in God and you understand that you are the only species that can bring human life into this earth, you start to understand your worth. Like, just research and listen to podcasts and read books and just understand that you are worthy. And when you understand that you're worthy, it's so hard for somebody to play with you in any capacity, because you know you don't deserve that. The way that you feel about your daughter, or the way that you feel about your mom, or the way you feel about your friend, start viewing yourself like that, because a lot of times we give people the love that we wish that we can receive. So I want women to start giving themselves that love and just not allowing men to break them down to the point where they feel unworthy. Yeah, because honestly, as you grow, you become better. And like, just because you dealt with this in that relationship doesn't mean that and that's another thing. Stop telling men what your ex put you through and what you've been through. Number one rule, stop telling them, because that's just telling them, I can get away with this. Like, oh, her ex blacked her eye. Like, it's
I can
cool.
slap her. A little slap.
Slap ain't gonna hurt. You know what I mean? If anybody asks, all your exes treated you like a princess, and they did exceedingly above and beyond anything that you could imagine, because that's kind of setting the tone. Because even if your ex did treat you like crap, you left that situation for a reason. You know what I mean? You telling a man that that's what happened is not going to make him be like, oh, he did that to her, I gotta make sure I don't. Yeah. No, he's going to just do it
different,
a little different.
Right. So what's one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Focus. Just focus up, figure out what you want to do, and focus on the task at hand. Don't let nobody distract you. Stop trying to be, cool, and make people understand that, I'm not stuck up, I'm not like that, and let people think whatever in the fuck they want to think.
I'm cool, like, I'm simple.
Like, I'm not like
simple.
that. Yeah.
Last time I told a nigga I was simple, he didn't buy me anything, and I was just thinking like, well, you said you was. Excuse me?
I didn't say I didn't like nice things.
What, are you dumb? Like, you really just can't. You can't. You can't even leave that little room of wonder. Like, I wonder, well, she said she was simple and she don't really like to do much, so I'm never gonna take her on a date.
Stop trying to be low maintenance. And I had that problem too. Like, I used to be like, oh, I don't care about that, I just care about how you. No, bitch, you gotta treat me right, and you gotta buy me stuff. It's not one or the other. It's not either or. It's
both.
I want both, because if I'm working hard, or if I'm treating myself to things, if I'm keeping my nails done and my hair done, and I'm keeping my bills paid and X, Y, and Z, why would I let you come along and just take up space?
And I'm just giving you all my time. I'm giving you time, and you're doing nothing. You're not being considerate. You're not planning nothing. I thought I liked the guy so much. I'm like, oh, I like him. He cute. He cute. And then he said he want to take me out. And then he said, what you want to do? You couldn't even plan a first date? Absolutely not. And I feel sorry for that man, but
I feel sorry for him too. But I mean, men have to start being the leaders that they swear that they are, and that's what the problem is. You can't say you're a leader and not know how to lead. Men are supposed to be leaders, yes, but where am I letting you lead me to?
Exactly. And I feel like I'm real firm and stern now, and I know you're not supposed to compare, but I don't take less than what I want, because I've had it all before. I've had a man that was very, 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 very sweet to me and intentional, and still had money. So you're not about to say, oh, well, if you want a guy with money, he gonna treat you like this, or if you want to be treated like this, he ain't gonna have no money. I had both. He was a little older. He was older guy.
He could be 70
but
years old.
I had both, and I know, and I've experienced the finer things, nice dating, perfect dating, picking me up, and we just going somewhere, we having fun. I've had exactly what I want before, so it's no reason that I'm about to sit here and think y'all got the same 24 hours. Yeah, it's no reason I'm about to. Well, this is what I want, and if you can't do this, and I still think I'm very simple, but at the same time, it's like you got to put effort. If you don't have no effort, I don't have no time.
Have you made your list yet?
Of what?
Ooh. Okay, so I tell every woman that I come across, because it's so funny. My mom told me to do this. This was like years ago. I wasn't even thinking about getting married. I was a kid, but She told me that she wrote everything that she wanted in her husband on a piece of paper, and she didn't settle down like or take anybody serious until those characteristics, like she met those, you know, they met those every single one they till they checked off every single box. And her and my stepdad met when I was 4, and because my sister's dad passed, and then my dad he think he me or something. He was kind of like, you know, future. Yeah, he was a liar. He was a man. He was a liar, but my mama didn't play that shit. So she left, you know, early on or whatever, like after I was born. And so my mom, like I said, she made her list. She met my stepdad when I was 4. And they got married 3 months after knowing each other, and they were married for the rest of life. He passed in 2020, God rest his soul, but they knew each other for 3 months. And I never seen them argue. That she said they got into maybe 2 arguments, and it was about, like, one of them was about my sister. She was wilding out and they had like a disagreement, and the other one was something else I don't remember, but they didn't argue, they didn't fight. He never didn't come home at night. It was never any, you know what I mean? Like, they were as happy could be when you're 2 people trying to raise, you know, children, and you got to work and you got all the stresses of life, and they didn't have access to the information that we do now, obviously. But so I tell people that they should write a list. I wrote my list, and my list came true. And it's okay to also revise your list, like, but every single solitary quality in a man that you can think of that you would want in a husband, put it on a list. And I'm telling you, like, when you know, you just know. You gonna know, because you gonna ask God, like, this is where we be messing up at. We don't be asking God, like, God, if he for me, then, you know, give me a sign. Or if he not for me, give me a sign. We tend to ask when it's too late, when we already deep in, when we already in a relationship,
God be like,
when we already living
knew
together.
He wasn't.
You knew that. You didn't even
Why
ask
you
me
ain't
permission to date him in the first place. I asked God that with my ex, and we got into the biggest fight the next day. I said, well, there's my answer. There you have it. So yeah, just consult with God, but also write your list, because you can have it all. Like you said, you can have the man that's romantic and he got the money and he's sweet to you and you're attracted to him, and you know what I mean, the sex is good, and he don't have kids, or you know, he got 1 kid but he don't have no baby mama drop. Whatever it is that you feel like you want, you can have all of it. You just gotta write it down and ask God, because I folded it up and I put it under my pillow, and I pulled that list out. I said, check. Okay, I'm getting married. So, yep.
Well, I want to thank you for coming. I've been wanting you on my show for a very long time.
I would love to come back.
Yes, I do. I want you to come back. I appreciate you for coming, but I want you to say all your social media handles: TikTok, Instagram, everything.
Okay, so my Instagram. Oh, and I also want to give the listeners a discount code for my bartending course when it drops. So you can find me on Instagram _ChelseaMichele. My TikTok is the real C.Michele. And my YouTube is linked somewhere in the bio. Honestly, I don't have any content on my YouTube yet, but I plan on, getting better at that. It's coming. My Facebook, Chelsea Michele. And yes, so for the people who are listening or watching and want to become a bartender, a waitress, a bottle girl, I am dropping a master course very soon. A lot of people gatekeep the information on how to get in the industry, how to make money. I'm sharing all my secrets. And for everybody who watches this podcast, if you go to bartendersecrets.org/lesspod, you'll get the course for 50% off. And even if the price goes up, it will always be, or when the price goes up, not if, it'll always be 50% off. I am so happy to be here. I love these conversations. Please have me back, because this was really fun. And I feel like this healed a part of me, because a lot of times I get on my platform and it's like, fuck niggas, get money. That's still the case. but there's a reason behind it, and being able to sit down and just discuss that, it feels really good, because men think I'm just a man basher, and like, I'm just not. Oh, you ain't got no man, that's why you be talking about men like that. No, I do have a man, and he's a great man, and I want everybody to experience that. I want everybody to experience healthy love. And I think if we just raise the standards, and we raise, you know what I mean, because if he can go over there and deal with her and she expecting nothing, why would he put up with, you know what I mean, trying to do the most to get you. But if she raised her standards, then he not gonna he not gonna have nowhere to go to play them type of games. You can't have the woman you want unless you do the things that needs to be done. So yeah, just becoming a better woman, focusing on being the best version of yourself, and it's gonna attract.
Yes, it's definitely gonna the people you attract when you working on yourself, it really changed. I'm seeing that.
Absolutely.
I went on a let me tell y'all my business. I went on a little cafe date. Like a guy who we are friends. I guess he pay attention because he know I just started a book club. I'm getting into my reading. He like, oh, let's go here in the morning, like an afternoon kind of thing. It was a cafe date. We went. We had I had hot chocolate, of course. He had his stuff, and we read our book. I love silence. He was silently reading. I'm silently reading. Yeah,
I love that.
It's just I just been attracting really different. He read his Bible.
That's one. Ooh, that's tall. The biggest.
But we friends though.
Okay, but still, we
friends though.
Me and my boo started off as friends, but it was very short lived. I was like,
but I asked him last night. I was like, I was just needed some excitement because I just been being real bland. I'm like, you like me? He like, yeah. I'm like, no, like me. He like, I mean, you all right? And I'm like, he like, I'm joking. Like, yeah, I like you. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why didn't you ever tell me this? And it's cool. I like that we are friends because it's organic.
Yeah,
like it's organic.
It's no pressure. Me honestly, so me and my boo, when we started, it was kind of like we talked about business, and it was like, okay, but it's like he don't mix business with pleasure, I don't mix business with pleasure. And then it kind of was like we would like have these conversations, and it was like we were starting to like each other, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. We can put that business on the back burner, but I got a couple dollars, you got a couple dollars, we can worry about that later. What's going, like, what's tea? But just that's the best way to be, because you see their character and you see who they are. And I'm so glad that you said he read his Bible, because a thing that people don't think about is if a man feels like he doesn't have to answer to a higher power, it's certain things he just not gonna stand on. It's certain things, like if you don't feel like I can't do this, not only because I don't want to hurt you, but I don't want to disappoint my God, because that's not what he will want me to do, then it's like they just out here willy-nilly. They just living demons life. Flowing in and out, like. And I think that's a big thing when people talk about relationships, or when we think about being with these men, we need to more so look at the overall picture and not just he cute and I like him and he got on a Mary's and a Dior bubble coat. Like, that's cool. If you want to have fun, you want to go to the club, pop some bottles, smoke some hookah, you want to go out of town, and they're going to pay for everything and it's going to be a good time. But if you want to settle down, if you want a husband, because everybody's saying like, husband, I want a husband. I think if you want a husband, you have to vet the men that you're dating a lot differently. So.
Yeah, and just pouring into yourself. Like, even now, it was a point in time where you asked me like, I want to get married, but are you ready to be a wife? No, I'm not. But now it's just me waking up and cooking and pouring into my daughter, and her school days is even better because now we waking up. I'm like, get your ass up. Like, we waking up. I'm cooking for her. She able to sit up, watch a little bit of TV, like chill. It's just everything is so calm. I gave up fast food and pop for Lent, so we not eating fast food. I'm cooking dinner every day. We just really just in our house enjoying ourselves. I may call my auntie like mental health. She like, all right, drop her off. Like, I need a mental health, a couple hours. Do what I do. Sometimes I might go for a walk outside. I might go to the gym. I might go to the bar. Wherever I choose to do. It's just like
you time.
I'm just really enjoying me. I get baptized next month. I did not tell nobody in my family because they all like, ooh. So don't gotta come. But it's just like everything is just falling into place for me. And it feel like with work, it's just like I'm losing my mind, but at the same time I'm just finding a different version of myself, and I like it.
It's beautiful. Yep, you gotta shed those layers and just keep becoming her. Like, keep becoming that person that you want to be. Like, in it, because I think we all kind of have a version of ourselves that we see, like, oh, when I'm 40, I'm gonna be like
I
this.
see myself waking up, going to work out, not waking up, running. I'm late for work. I'm driving. It's just too much. I'm just really like, I love a slow morning.
I love the calm. Oh my goodness. And I think that's another thing that really, like, early on in my relationship, I'm like, you don't expect me to be cooking and cleaning and cooking all the time, do you? Because I can cook and I'm gonna keep that house clean, but if I'm not a housewife, and even if I was a housewife, baby, you need to have a couple dollars for the housekeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll cook, but are you going to wash these dishes? You know what I mean? Like, I'll clean the bedroom, but are you going to clean the living room?
Right.
Like, it's give and take. And I think a big thing for me, like in my last relationship, was he felt like, well, I'm paying the bills, you going to work and you keeping your money, you know, you doing whatever you want with your money, but I shouldn't have to lift a finger in the house. And it's like,
I don't even want a man to think like that.
Why do you think that? Why? Matter of fact, how about you go and pay for a housekeeper and you go and pay for a chef, and I remove myself from the equation because you paying the bills.
Why don't you want to take a little off my load? Yeah.
Am I a slave? I didn't know I was a slave.
Like, for real.
Excuse me. And I got my own money and I could leave.
Like, bye-bye.
Nah, that's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm out of here.
Well, I really appreciate. I love these conversations. I love these talks. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I also see you at the gym. You're doing your Pilates, all of that. I love all of that.
Yes, I will say that it is a journey of like getting back in shape. I think that that's a big thing that people don't talk about in the industry. It's so easy to fall into that. You drinking, then you wake up late, then you eating BS because you hungover, and then it's like a never ending
Even
cycle.
working in the medical field, you working 12 hours, so you're not able to go home and cook. You might about to stop and get this, or you just eating from the vending machine. One time I checked my debit card, it was like food in restaurants. It was more money than I even made. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
or
the
vending
thing.
machine, swipe. So now, like, even yesterday, I made my juice and I cooked me some dinner the night before and took it to work, and I'm eating it like, that smell good. I'm like, chicken and broccoli. I was eating because it's just like, we don't talk enough about how important it is to take care of our body, and to be to be so struck on going to work, you don't really have time to take care of your body. So you just have to find time to just pour into yourself, because
absolutely,
like my auntie say, stress can kill you.
Literally. And another thing, and that's something that I know it's over and we gotta stop talking. We gotta get out this man's studio. But another thing that I think that we don't address enough is the fact that you have generations of women who are stressed out because they took care of everybody but themselves. And I think that you have these podcast warriors. I was talking about them earlier. They get on these podcasts and they say these things with no merit behind it.
Nothing.
Because the issue that they have now is, we're not taking care of y'all, we're taking care of ourselves first, and we want a man that also can take care of us. And it's nothing wrong with that, but they want you to think that you don't deserve that, or you should have to build a man up, or you should have to go through the struggle first. And it's like, no, like, I'm not putting you through the struggle, because if you meet me and I don't have a car, I don't have a place to stay, I don't have nothing going on, I'm trying to get into it with you all the time because I'm miserable. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I think that we're finally waking up as black women and caring for ourselves and caring for our bodies and putting ourselves first and nurturing our children, because we was getting cussed out. It was like,
I told my auntie, like, you beat me so bad one time I died. Yeah. She was like, well, I was just learning. Like, good God.
Yeah, I need
these grandkids don't even get nothing.
They don't get whoopings or none of that. But I think it's more of a, we're raising more healthy children, and we're becoming more healthy ourselves. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because even to sit in these spaces and to interact with other women who are like-minded and have these conversations and to help each other to grow and become better women, and then we take that information and we go share that information with other people, or the people who watching the podcast, and they share it with their friends, and it's like the conversations need to be had.
Even with my daughter, like, I love that I let her express herself. My team be like, oh, I know you would have beat me. But like, my daughter told me the other day, can we talk? I am mad. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? You wake up, you screaming. You wake up, you screaming. You go to sleep. She just starts talking. I'm like, okay, well, today we'll have a better day. I'm sorry, I was a little overwhelmed yesterday. Okay, I'm sorry. But when you step in this house, take them shoes off. I don't want you wearing your shoes in my house. I said what I said. Throw your clothes on the floor. You think I wake up and clean up she was like, I understand. Cool, we cool.
Yeah,
now we cool.
Now we good.
Now have a good day at school. So
yeah.
I really love the fact that I'm able to take my past and just me, how I was raised, and I take a lot from that because my auntie always raised us to make our own money. Always, even to this day, make your own money so you don't have to be in a situation that you don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing.
I would hate to have to be in a relationship or be in any situation
where you
based
can't
on
leave.
me. I cannot leave because I can't afford to.
And you know what's so crazy about that? I was thinking about this earlier. I think that is where the imbalance comes in at with black men and black women, because a lot of times women raise their daughters to be hyper independent and like don't rely on no man, because they used to have to rely on a man, and now you getting beat on and cheated on and disrespected and all this type of stuff, and you can't go anywhere because you can't open a bank account, you can't get a job, you can't go and buy a house, so you gotta stick with this man. But now that leads to women coddling their sons because they don't want them out in the streets, they don't want them, you know, anything happening to them. And I understand it, you know what I mean? Like, black men also need to be protected, but they also need to learn how to be men and leaders and provide.
I was listening to a podcast at work. This is the last thing, I promise. I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to a podcast at work yesterday, and it was like it was 3 men and it was 3 men and it was a woman. It was 2 men and 2 women. And I think the man who said this is from Joe Budden podcast. Immediately, no. He said on there, as soon as he got on there, they was talking about patriarchy and all this stuff, and the first thing he said, "Oh, I don't pay for friends. I don't buy a woman nothing."
I hate that for him.
And the other man, I'm so happy. The other man said, "How old are you?" He like, because I meet a girl today, ask her for a date, and she need a babysitter. I gotta pay for the babysitter. And the other guy like, you don't have to, but why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to pay for her babysitter? Why wouldn't you want to send her a black card? Why wouldn't you want to pay for her? He like, no, I'm good. He was like, and that's why you single.
Yeah. Mr. No Bitches. Because if I gotta go to work and if I gotta pay somebody to watch my child to go to work, what makes you think I'm gonna pay somebody
to watch her
to come on a date to see if
I like you?
If I like you, but also the whole point of you taking me on a date is because you trying to figure out the fastest way to fuck me. Let's be real. You trying to get in my pants because men are visual creatures. They go based off of I'm attracted to you. I'd like to mate with you if we going back to the beginning of time, right? So why am I compromising myself, or why am I doing work or going out of my way so that you can try to court me? So you try to get my it don't make sense. It don't make sense. If you don't go to hell.
But I thank you for coming. I love this
Thank
episode.
you for having me.
I can't wait to get it back. I hope I get it back tomorrow. I can't wait, but thank you so much. I think this is going to be my last episode was episode 85. I was going to record a solo episode at home, but I'm not. This is going to be episode 86. I'm looking to post this on Monday.
I'm excited.
So I'm excited.
Be back from out of town on Monday. And I'm posting it everywhere. I was on TikTok live earlier, and the girls was like, "Are you gonna post from the podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna post some highlights on here because I'm so excited." I feel like we had a really great conversation. Yes. I feel like I could say more. Like I could, it's more for me to. We can go all day, but we're gonna get out these people's studios, so we don't get.